Right, it's hearty good afternoon to you. Another unplanned feed, but had a few moments to spare. And when I got time to spend, who do I spend it with? You guys, of course, wondering what's happening in the world, what's happening in South Africa. Fuck the world, let's worry about what's happening in South Africa. We live in interesting times. We have a pandemic, we have two pandemics. We'll talk about that more, especially right now. Talk about the pandemic of corruption and looting is where we will focus on today. So roll in, tell us where you are today. Are you working, Serino Governor? Are you at home? Are you unemployed? Just sign the register. Don't just watch without fucking saying something. Sign the register. Good afternoon, Anida. Sign the register. Sumesh Mudli joining us as well. And yep. Kumeshni says good afternoon. Casey, good afternoon. Kumeshni. Mudli girl. High powered, high nation. Nevan Naraidu, Renisha Prasad, and Jane Mudli. Lots of Mudlis on the feed. What's up? Sean Singh says, how's it? So, right, while most of the guys rock up, those of you who are on, tell me, for those of you who don't know who you are, first timers, tell us where you're watching from. It's the tea time treat, is it? Yes, it's 3 o'clock. I didn't realize the time. It's tea time treat with KC. Bring your Vedas and your Googlas and your Rick coffee. Join in. Good morning. Nice day for a brandy in Durban. Oh, is it cold in Durban? Is it? I'm working in this cold and I need some loot too. I'm on the throne, says Sumesh Mudli. That's a good place to be. Open up those valves and let them flow. Afzal Aziz. What kind of fucking dom? Married a Mudli. Mudli name is ready. Andhra. Let's just cut it there and say Kumeshni Mudli says something very silly. She says she's married a Mudli. Maiden name is Reddy. She says Andhra power. Kumeshni, let me put it this way, Kumeshni. This guy's calling me now. Yeah, I took a call from Afzal Aziz Slamo. It should be on my live feed just now, coming on anyway. Right, Vanilla Art, how's it, Vanilla? Good afternoon at work, says Jugan. Ashan. Rashida says it's freezing in Durban. What's freezing? For Durban, 15 degrees is fucking freezing. Fuck off. They're not fucking about freezing. But I was talking to Kumeshni there. I find Millie's on this cold. I was talking to Kumeshni. Kumeshni says she's a Reddy, she's an Andhra. She's a Mudli now. She married a Mudli. I want to tell Kumeshni, from being a Reddy to marrying a Mudli and getting a Mudli surname, it's a step up in the world. It's a fucking step up, because Mudlis are a very fucking high fucking nation. Amen to the Andhra power, says our Nevan says Andhra power. Fucking Mudlis are fucking head and shoulders. The caste system. Go and read about the caste system in India and fucking who came here dining with the captain on the top deck, the Mudlis. 27 degrees in the UK, he says Roger Naidu. Yup, we think about England is being cold, but Roger Naidu in the UK is wallowing in 27 degrees. Durban is freezing at 17 degrees. Fuck off. Right. So, guys, good afternoon and welcome. KC Live. My husband says that every time. Well, your husband is right, Kumeshni. He's right. We're fucking I nation, we are. And you should be glad you came from a ready house. Nothing wrong. But you stepped up in the world. It's like the girl from fucking Chatswood now living in fucking Amshlanga and Santon. Rashina says it's 18 in Durban. Well, I guess it's 17, 18. Who fucking cares? You're still fucking freezing at 18 degrees, right? Yola Minar says, how's it? Farana, Cape Town is freezing, says Kogilambal. Kogilambal, put on your crocheted knitted panties and walk around. Then you'll keep you warm. Right, so this afternoon I want to talk about, I shared a video on my WhatsApp group. Those of you not on my WhatsApp group, 084-795-1835. Join the WhatsApp group there. I shared an interview with Shahan Ramkisoon talking to ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe. What an interesting interview. And one of the interviews that first time I saw a journalist really take on somebody who they were interviewing. And Pule Mabe was really pulling hairs out of his ass there in that interview. If those who didn't see it, log on to my page, go and watch the video there. Yalalia Mare David says, hey there, yeah, parrot in the background. May I ask what breed? Is that a parrot? What is a parrot? Tyler, is that a parrot? It's a ringneck. Julian Kutzer says, how's it? And whenever I talk, those fucking birds make a hell of a lot of noise. Right, we're talking ANC, we're talking, apparently the ANC are bowing their heads in shame. 9 in Kule says, boy, afternoon, Mamu. Yep, I'm talking about Akir Aziz. Oh, where's the Bali? Afzal fucking phoning me while I'm live. I phoned him 10 times, doesn't answer my call. Kogilamal says, brilliant interview. It's very cold for Durban weather, of course. Hi, Tyler. Yola says, knitted panties. Yep, crochet, knitted panties. Keep the cake warm. It's Casey and the gang. Shahan, he stops. They have a timeline now to when Compros will sort it out. Yep. Well, Pule Mabe says timeline. He talks about promises and a lot of fucking things that Pule Mabe is saying. You've seen any of the court cases. Smokers have a good case going forward. Watched it on ENCA, says Jenny Vigi. Right. Let's concentrate only on that, guys. If you're going to talk tonight and make any comments today, let's stick solely to the topic at hand. That is the ANC. That is the corruption happening. And Pule Mabe being a spokesperson for the ANC. By the way, Rashina Badri, we're going to talk about this thing only. So if you say anything else, I'm going to ignore your comment. So we're going to talk about this now, about the ANC, the corruption, and where we stand in the country. That's what I came online to talk about. Very importantly, Anisha Rajdev. What's up? What smokers in a long time? I'm not talking about smoking. I'm not talking about drinking. I'm talking about ANC and corruption. Naresh Sarab says, totally flipping evasive answers, but in the full interview, Pule alluded to that one must not forget that although some ANC members may be corrupt, we must not forget that they were also freedom fighters. What fucking hogwash. There you go. That is the heart of what I was going to say. The most intriguing part of that interview was mentioning Tony Yangeni. Tony Yangeni, you'll remember from, I think it's about 8 years back or whatever, 10 years. One of the few, Shabir Sheikh, Tony Yangeni, and Jackie Salebi. Only 3 people to jail time, to experience jail time. Only 3 people in 26 years of democracy. And Tony Yangeni, for corruption, was jailed. And if you remember, that time his ANC comrades took him to jail on their shoulders. They took him to jail as a hero. The ANC was celebrating mediocrity, corruption, looting. That's what they were celebrating when they took Tony Yangeni. And then, to add the cream to the top, or insult to injury, they made Tony Yangeni head of the commission into corruption. Tony Yangeni, they take a fucking criminal and make him the head of corruption. And then, I'm not reading your comments by the way, and then in that interview with Shan Ramkisoon, Pule Mabe says, we must not forget that people like Tony Yangeni were freedom fighters. So, when Shan Ramkisoon questioned him as to how do you take a confirmed criminal, corrupt official of the ANC, instead of kicking him out of the ANC because he brought shame on the ANC, what does the ANC do? They reward him. They make him head of the commission. What? Not of fucking schools of sanitation. No. Let's give him the head of a department he knows about. Corruption. Then Tony Yangeni became the head of investigating corruption. That's what they made Tony Yangeni. Same now with fucking, what's his name? Becky Kelly. Becky Kelly in 2010, Minister of Police, was under investigation for leasing issues and whatever, corruption, maladministration. What happens to him? Well, we make him Minister of Police again. That's what we do. We need to pressure on the ANC. Being a freedom fighter doesn't give you sort of jail card. Exactly. Never. That is what I actually wanted to, in this conversation, just talk about Pule Mabe and justifying Tony Yangeni coming out of jail and heading up the corruption unit of the ANC. What about the other cake? Pule Mabe's bully went more small on the news than in the cold weather. Doesn't deserve to get lambasted. Well, Pule Mabe, as a spokesperson, he's supposed to say those things. He's supposed to be the spin doctor. That's his job. His job is to spin. His job is try to deflect. They can't hide anymore. They can't hide anymore. The power of social media. Pre-nation governor, actually, you're quite right. The ANC finds themselves in the depths of despair only because of the power of social media and what is happening and how it's being exposed. That is why, for now, the first time, they apparently dipped their heads in shame and embarrassment, and apparently, dipping their heads now. And Tony is a convicted criminal and still in parliament. Height of hypocrisy. That is right, Anita Padiachi. If the ANC can't address that, then they're not addressing anything. So does a big freedom fighter absolve you from corruption? Yep, that's the question. Rimpy says Robert McGride as well. Magoos for bombing completely forgotten. There is no transparency in our government, says Kogi Lambal Naidu. For those of you who missed the interview, Shan Ramkisoon of ENCA was interviewing the ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe. And Pule Mabe almost justified having people like Tony Yengeni in parliament and celebrating people who are corrupt thieves, rogues. Becky Kera was under investigation following the discovery of evidence following the 1.7 billion rand spent on buildings, leases, that's right, maladministration. Pre-nation government is correct. That's Becky Kele. 1.7 billion rand spent on building leases that were unlawful, improper, constitution, maladministration. And what do we do with Becky Kele? Well, we make him the Minister of Police. That's what we do. As the ANC, we reward theft, looting, and that sort of thing. So those are the things, and rightfully so. Everybody who brings us on a public platform is how we share this knowledge and how we try to make a difference and how we try to bring the ANC to book, shall I say. What else was I going to say? Something I was going to say about this old color. This morning I was listening to, by the way, my son got intrigued in it and we were watching this interview. Sakina of Morning Live. It wasn't Leanne Manas. Leanne Manas who did the news. Leanne Manas, 104 years old. She's still on Morning Live. Who remembers Leanne Manas from the time you were a kid watching Leanne Manas present Morning Live? Anyway, Sakina, the other lady there, was interviewing the MEC for Health in KZN. She asked her this question. This is a question she asked her. Why did you have to go to a third party? This was regarding the blankets issue. 4,800 blankets, 48,000 blankets, by the way. 48,000 blankets were procured. Only 5,000 blankets were, in fact, delivered. And at a very high, double the price. So Sakina asked her, why did you need to get a third party involved in this procurement? Why couldn't you all buy it directly from the supplier? 20 minutes later, the MEC had not answered the question. She went round about there are good people, there are bad people. She spoke about escort. She spoke about 60 families in Itaquini. She spoke about them needing blankets. She even confirmed that some of the blankets were bought directly. Then it went to a third party. Then she says people must answer. But she never fucking answered the fucking question. Why did we need to get... Even when Sakina pressed her, she said, ma'am, we're running out of time. Can you please tell us why did you get a third party involved? She said, no, I'm coming to that. 20 minutes later, time had run out and she had not answered the fucking question. By the way, listening to that MEC, and I might be called a racist or whatever, because you can't say any black people, that sounds like a fucking retarded fucking bitch. MEC for education, I'm going to tell you straight out, when you listen to her and you even see her, you think, who put this fucking stupid bitch in fucking power? Who put this mental fucking thing there? In power. She's got no sense of talking, no sense of... I just think she's a fucking retarded fucking mental fucking case. She shouldn't even fucking be there. Sakina is an excellent journalist and also hits the nail on the head. Oliver Tambo, Nelson Mandela will be turning in their graves. Ibn Zwane and Makshula in the Frida Dairy Farm. Yeah, what do you talk about that, the Frida Dairy Farm? I don't know how... And... You see, if we criticize government, then we'll be racist. So it's very like walking on eggshells. But I try to walk on eggshells, you see, because I don't see her as black. I just see her as a fucking stupid idiot. That's all I see. You might see her as a black person. I see her as an official representing me, taking my tax money. She's a fucking useless fucking thing. Can't fucking answer the question. You're a fucking MEC of fucking health. Why don't you know what the fuck is happening under you? Let me tell you how these MECs work or whatever. They just fucking sit there and they got people around them doing things. They just fucking around. So they got advisors coming to them and giving them shit. Now, I just want to fucking rant here. Something happened in your area. Span sirens can hear. No, sirens are always happening here. Something happened in your area. Oh, no, sirens always happening here, dude. That's a par for the course here. This is Johannesburg, dude. You hear sirens all the time. Things are happening. Negation says a lot of ministers cannot speak proper English when people Zol. What the fuck is that? Yep. Well, and then they use the excuse that, oh, it's not their first language. Look, I know that to a great extent. Today, I'm not talking about how she spoke English. I'm not talking about how she spoke English. I'm just talking about how she fucking handled the interview and couldn't fucking give answers to what is fucking needed. Yeah, like Pulima Bully needed Devi Sankri. We tired of this corrupted government officials. Well, tired is one thing. What we're going to do about it is something else. When we go to the polls, and how do we handle this? By the way, the ANC is giving timelines on how to handle. Also, last night on my live feed, I discussed the Mlangeni funeral and how the ANC flouted the COVID regulations. A lot of people were present there, and they're now issuing an apology. And I think the apology is just because of public pressure and to take away the fact that there is a criminal case being opened. Who is going to be sued though? Who is going to be held accountable? Frankly, I don't think anybody is going to jail. But if you and I broke the COVID regulations, we'd be fucking in the back of a police van going to a fucking police station because we broke the regulations. There was a post recently showing the most ministers' age. They're all over 60. They're all over 60, going on 75, and they're fucking useless. They only know how to fluff around. Now for David Sankri governor, it's just pure incompetence. Well, if you take people who fucking and do cadre deployment and you place people in positions only because they're black, only because they're ANC, and only because you know them, this is the situation we will find ourselves in. Because incompetent is the word. Incompetent, nincompoops, cunts of note, irresponsible, uneducated. I will say that as well. We shouldn't criticize government until we redefine the term government. In the meantime, we need all the fucking corrupt officials accountable. It says Francois Quarry. What say ye, Francois Quarry? Until we redefine the term government. Okay? You redefine government and you carry on there. In the meantime, we need all fucking corrupt. That's correct. MECs are merely figureheads that earn the big bucks in the DGs and municipalities actually run the show. Naresh Sirap is correct, what he's saying there. So the MECs, and even I'm going to take this to the extent of Zweli Mkhize, the ministers, like Fikile and Balula. You think Fikile is fucking digging in what's happening, finding out things? All he does is got his MECs, he's got people giving him like Zweli Mkhize. Zweli Mkhize just comes on TV and fucking spits out what people have told him to say. I don't think he fucking knows half of what is fucking going on. Most of the fucking ministers, they're not involved in the project. They don't come up with solutions. They're feeding off the trough. They got enough things coming their way. They've got MECs and other people helping them. What do you call them? People giving them information. I can't get the name now. Did they? Listen. Yeah, so they just come out and just look at Becky Kele. Becky Kele is fucking giving interviews all over the place, always on TV, radio. Where do you think he's got time to do real policing, to find out what's happening on the ground? They're just mouthpieces. They're mouthpieces. That's what they are. Fat cats just sit. They're fucking mouthpieces. I've always maintained that they're fucking mouthpieces. People give them information and they read out as if they are fucking doing it. Look, I got no problem with that really, because you can't do all the work yourself. But you gotta be hands-on, trying to help, not just being an MEC for that fucking reason of saying you're the MEC. Anyway, thought I'll just come on and give my share on that. I really wanted to talk about that. 99% of people have fuck all qualifications. That's right. They have advisors. Yes, advisors always advising them. So whatever the advice, like HEPA, you know about HEPA, high efficiency particulate. Those things like Zweli Mkhize will come out and give his talk there, because he's being told information by Professor Karim and the like. He will say these things, and these are the advisors that I didn't came on a bit too early. Yeah, they have advisors. Anyway, right, that's my 20-minute rant. I was on from 3 o'clock. Tea time rant. Mkiza says second wave of the virus coming. Where he gets this from? Well, he's pulled it out of his ass. Where do you think he got it from? He got his fucking team of advisors there. Definitely no one from ANC going to jail. They will just be paying bribes to be paid. So they will be up. Well, I seriously don't see anyone from the ANC going to jail. That's a reality of the situation we find ourselves in. But one needs some common sense to be an MEC, not likely ours. Yep. That is set up quite correct. They may not necessarily have the knowledge, all the knowledge. Advisors are necessary, but they are the ones who need to make the final decision based on common sense as well, as Naresh said. Right, so there we go. Cigarette video. Right, there we go. I'm all said and done with that. And just thought I'll come out and say, by the way, many people are wondering what the old people do with their salaries. Yep, and they get everything for free as well. Don't forget my show, Don Dala with the Masala remix show. Macy Pillay, did you buy your ticket? It's only 100 Rand at www.quicket.co.za. Don Dala with the Masala, my online show. Going to be recording it in about 2 weeks' time. It's a family show, suitable for all ages. Roger Naidu has already bought his ticket, by the way. In fact, he's bought 2 tickets. Ushan Pule sing Kilatin Casey in the Sunshine, Governor and Gang. Goodbye and talk ANC. Take care, Prenation. Right, we'll chat with you guys later tonight. Australia experiencing a second wave now. Look at all the names. Bully, Pully, the South African government like this. Right. Get the tickets. Don't download them at www.cricket.co.za. It's only $100 to watch on your smartphone, your tablet, your smart TV. Right. Next up, coming to you 8 o'clock tonight. My normal live feed, which I do every weeknight, round about 8 o'clock. It's Hump Day, Wednesday. We're sliding into the end of 25 minutes past the hour of 3. So we are moving in from there. Boya Police says, fuck you. Alright, if that suits you, do corruption quiz tonight. Yep, nice to do a corruption quiz here and see how many billions. The quiz will be about, in this tender, how many billions were lost there. Let's go with that one. Boya Police says, fuck you. I'm reading that. I don't know why he says fuck me. Maybe he's wants to say that. Maybe he's feeling a bit left out. I don't know. Boya from Kule. I think I remember that. And yeah, so Ajahn says we should adopt a guilty until. Yeah. Then it'll never happen though, Ajahn. It'll never happen. But I hear what you're saying, because the ANC keep playing the card. I'll just put this to say the ANC is quick to say. They like saying this. We put our full faith in the SAPS and the Hawks and the SIU, and we say if the man is if they have corruption, looting. Then the law must take its course. Yeah. Law. Listen, the law must take its course, and we as the ANC, we strongly condone or condemn in the strongest terms. We strongly condemn in the strongest terms any sort of corruption. Yes. So we put our faith in the justice system, and when these people are found guilty, then they must face the full might of the law. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. Out. Yes.